Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Steph. In today's video I have my top 10 reads of 2022. I recently filmed all of the books I read in 2022. I don't know if that one will probably be up before this one. It's pre-filmed, but I'm still working on the editing process of that one. These are in no particular order. I have one book that I don't own on paperback, so I'll pop a picture up on the screen when I'm referring to it. But yeah, I'm really excited to get into all of my top 10 reads. Starting off, like I said, these are in no particular order. The first book I have here is Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. This is the second book in the... I can't remember what the name of this series is called, but like the first one is It Happened One Summer, then the second one's Hook, Line, and Sinker. I rated them both 5 stars, but this one just was my favorite. I really liked Hannah and Fox's relationship in this one. It was like a friends to lovers, but I thought it was really, really cute and it was super steamy. I really enjoyed it, obviously, because it made it into my top 10. I really liked this book. The next book that I have here is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one here I kind of just picked up on a whim. I had originally read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and I got halfway through, and I don't want to say that I completely DNF'd it because I would love to go back to it. I just didn't love it, and I don't know if it was because I was in a slump or if like it just wasn't my kind of book. But I didn't finish that one, so I'm surprised that I ended up ordering something else from Taylor Jenkins Reid, but this was a 5-star read for me. I loved this book so much, and I recently just read another book by her, and I'm really excited to talk about that one. But this one here I loved so much. This had me crying and laughing. It just made me feel all of the emotions, and I am so excited to read more by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The next book I have on my list here is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I've tried to explain this a few times and I keep messing up. If you want to do a Google search on this, if you haven't read it, which I'm surprised if you haven't, this has been so highly talked about on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. This was 5 stars for me. I loved the romance in this book. I loved the dual point of view, like you bounce back and forth between past and present, and I really enjoyed the storyline of this book. The next book I have on my list is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I really liked this, and I felt like I read this like just before the hype kind of went around it on TikTok. This is a second chance romance. I thought it was so cute and I really enjoyed the storyline. The cover on this is absolutely gorgeous. I waited until the new cover came out before I ordered this, and I love this cover so much. 2 Colleen Hoovers on this list. It was very hard to narrow it down since this was my year for reading Colleen Hoover. I read a couple last year, but these are the 2 that I have that are my favorite for this year, which is surprising because this is a thriller. This is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I loved the twists and turns in this book. If you haven't read this book, you definitely need to. The next book I have here is another Colleen Hoover, and it is Too Late. This one is one of her darker romances. I think it's the darkest book she has out. I read this on my Kindle, but I had to own it on paperback because this is my all-time favorite Colleen Hoover at the moment. I haven't read all of her backlist yet, but I absolutely love this one. But definitely search up trigger warnings because this deals with a lot of like abuse and sexual assault and things like that. So definitely search up before you get into that book. The next book is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I have been seeing a lot of people bashing this book recently and saying like if you liked that book, like I can't believe your taste in books. I absolutely loved this book, and everybody has their own taste in books, and I always say on my channel, like if you liked a book, leave me a comment down below. If you didn't like it, leave a comment as well. Like everybody likes something different, and maybe I read romance, but you might like something completely different than what I enjoy reading. But that's the point of having so many different authors that write so many different genres, is that you read what you like to read. And if you clicked on my video, that's probably because you like romance books as well. But I loved this one. This one follows a girl named Olive, and she falls in love with her professor. Not gonna say much more than that. You definitely need to read it. There is a second one out on this called Love on the Brain. which I will be talking about. It's the first book that I read this year, and I really liked it, but I'm not going to say much more on that. We're talking about this one here. This one was so good, and I highly recommend you reading it. It is very spicy. You might say from the cover that it's not, but it is a very spicy book. The cover is deceiving, but I loved this book. Future Stephanie popping in here. I realized there was another book that kind of just should have made it into the top 10 over another, so I'm here to give you that information, and that is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. I absolutely loved this book. It was more of a close door romance. The friendship between these two characters is what really sold me on this book. I loved it. I definitely will be rereading it, and I don't own it for my personal collection, but I definitely will be buying it. I love this book, and it made me so much more excited to read more books by Sarah Adams. The next book I'm going to pop up is The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I actually don't own this book yet. I own quite a few of Elle Kennedy's books in that series, but I am missing the first one. I had already read it, so I didn't want to purchase it just yet. I wanted to purchase the ones I hadn't read, but I absolutely love The Deal by Elle Kennedy. It's one of my top reads, obviously, but I think it's like close to like my number one. But the next book that I talk about will be my number one read of 2022, but I absolutely loved The Deal. The storyline, the characters, the fake dating, I loved all of it, and I want to continue on with that series and also continue on with the Briar U series. I absolutely loved that book. I'm going to talk about, I actually have two copies of. It's my number one book of 2022, and that is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. This is the Canadian cover, which I originally ordered when it first came out, and I was kind of bummed that I didn't get this cover, but then I saw this one on Book Outlet because this is the US cover, so we can't get it in Canada, but I happened to see it on Book Outlet, so I ordered it. I'm so happy I did because this is one of my all-time favorite books, and I can't wait to see what her new book is all about. It has very similar vibes to this one. I'm pretty sure she said that the cover art is made by the same person, and that's why the next one is so similar. The next one's called Meet Me at the Lake. It is not a continuation of this book or a second book of this novel here, but I'm excited for it, and I'm excited that my books are going to match. I'm hoping that the one that she showed for Meet Me at the Lake matches this one, and she's not going to come out with a Canadian cover or something like this, because I really want the cover that she posted. But I love this book. It says 6 numbers to fall in love, 1 moment to fall apart, a weekend to get it right. I loved Persephone and Sam's story, and it's second chance romance. It's a little bit excessive that I have 2 copies of it, if I'm being honest, but I absolutely love this book, and I can't rate it highly enough. But yeah, that is all 10 books that are my top favorites of 2022. Let me know down below if any of these were your top books, or you are thinking of reading any of these for 2023. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, whatever you're doing, and happy reading. Bye!